Auzubillahiminash-shaytanir-rajeem. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. Assalamu alaikum. I am Sayyid Qamber and welcome to Questions and Answers with Qamber. Today we are joined by our Maulana Sayyid Amin Jafri, and our topic is Usul-e-Din. Today we'll be moving on to Imamat, and thank you all for your awesome feedback and awesome questions. I'll include them on later. So we will move directly on to Imamat. So, Maulana, I had to ask you, we all know that Imam Mahdi is in Gaibat, and he is our Imam of our time right now. So how does Imam Mahdi alayhi salam guide us, even if he is in Gaibat? He cannot see us, he cannot meet us. No, he cannot see us, but he cannot meet us. So how does he guide us?
Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. Not exactly, but in a similar way as other powers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are not there, we can't see them. Similarly, well, the reason Imam is not amongst us is because of us, basically. Imam, we had 11 other Imams before us, before Imam Zaman, and then we could not save them. We were not able to keep them away from the tyrants. People were not supporting Imams properly, so Imam had to go in Ghaiba. So Imam, why, how is he? There's a beautiful rawayat that if there is a sun behind the cloud, just like that, Imam, his rays of his nur is reaching to us. He's helping us. He's meeting people. There are rawayat that once Imam inshallah would come, a lot of people would say, I have seen Imam before, I have met him before. So Imam does come and help us in generally, especially to ulmas. Imam has his naibeen. When Imam first time went into Ghabat.
Sorry to interrupt you, but what are naibeen?
Right. Mujtahideen. Our mujtahideen are his naibeen. You cannot move on without Imams. Actually, as a matter of fact, on Thursday night, there's an entire report of all Shias given to Imam. What did you do all week? What did I do? What did he do? So Imam is staying behind the veil and providing us. That's one. And two is, there's a process in the world. No rahmat, blessing, rizq can come without having a masoom in the world. So Imam is there. His process of sending rizq, knowledge, guidance to us is through mujtahideen, at the same time through general people as well. He's not gonna directly meet us or everybody, but he has met a lot of people, tons of people, even in Canada, even in West. People have seen Imam, met Imam. Once they properly follow the protocol, Imam does meet them. So an Imam would not meet us by telling that I am Imam. But once we see him eventually, inshallah, we'll understand, oh, I met Imam before. All right?
Okay, so moving on to the next question. Why must there always be an Imam present in mankind? As you just said about Masumeen, that without a Masumeen there's no risk. So why must there also be an Imam present in mankind at all times?
Well, Quran says we have never left humanity without guidance. That's Quran, okay? And generally, when we see human beings are dependent.
Yes.
Human beings are dependent on something, someone superior. Just like you are dependent on your teacher, your parents, and then parents dependent on their senior, and the teacher dependent on the principals. All the time we need help from superiors. And that superior, who could that be? It must be appointed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It cannot be appointed by human beings. The ultimate naib of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the ultimate ambassador of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the ultimate representative of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would be appointed by him. So Imam is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we must have his, just like we have embassies. Suppose in Canada we have India's embassy. In Pakistan we have Germany's embassy. Why? Because this is representing Germany. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has his ambassador directly connected with him. And without that connection, we will not be able to get the blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's jalal is so immense. So right after, once Imam Zaman would have his Zahur, and once he becomes Shaheed, as soon he becomes Shaheed, then we'll have Qayamat. Why? Because he is a lens, like a lens in between. He is the barrier. He stops the jalal of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. His greatness. Our qulub, our hearts cannot comprehend, understand Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Yes.
So Imam is the one that's in between. As soon as Imam goes away, the Hujjat-e-Khuda goes away, then Qayamat would come. This land, these galaxies wouldn't be able to handle the jalal of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And everything would be collapsed, and that would be Qayamat. So keep things in balance. You have to have Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's ambassador in this world.
Another question that I want to ask is, because we have no direct way to communicate to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala except dua. And also in dua, we do not talk to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we request. So why do we use Masumeen as our intercessors between Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Why do we use them as a form of communicating to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala?
You guys might be too young to understand this example, but what happens when you communicate something superior, someone who is much wiser, it's very difficult to use the proper language. It's very difficult to use the proper etiquettes and adab and respect. So once you go to and talk to a principal, it's very difficult to communicate. Your teacher has another aura, has another impression, another level and status. To access Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we must have someone as well. Because and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants, because you see, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted to talk to Prophet, he did not talk to Prophet directly. He sent angels. He sent angel Jibreel to communicate. And that's vice versa. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created prophets because human beings cannot comprehend, understand the level of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And just like in general life, you have to have someone superior than you, someone better than you, who can understand that level. So human beings always are in need of a masoom between human beings and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we can keep the balance.
Okay, so we'll be right after a quick break, and just wanted to tell you that you can always contact me at Q&AProgram@qaim.tv, and you can call me at the number which is displayed below. So I'll see you after this break.